Welcome back to the TQQQ Challenge. It's the evening of August 15th, 2025. For the first time since we started this challenge, my TQQQ portfolio has grown to over $10,000 in unrealized profits. More importantly, we witnessed a golden cross formation on June 23, 2025 in QQQ, and TQQQ reached an all-time high price of $96 this week. Have you watched my short YouTube video titled TQQQ Breakout 2025, published on July 10, 2025? In that video, I explained that on June 23, 2025, QQQ formed a golden cross, and the last time this happened was March 2023, when QQQ rallied for 12 straight months, hitting an all-time high of $540. If you haven't watched it yet, please check it out. Let's start with where we are today. TQQQ is trading at approximately $93, up from last month's level of $87. To put this in perspective, TQQQ previously hit an all-time high of $93 on December 16, 2024. It then plunged to $35 on April 7. However, TQQQ made a historic full recovery, climbing back to a new all-time high price of $96 on August 13, 2025. Since TQQQ tracks 3 times the daily performance of QQQ, it's crucial to understand what's happening with the Nasdaq 100. Since April 9, 2025, we've witnessed a historic market comeback. Since May 12, 2025, QQQ has been trading above both the SMA 50 purple line and the SMA 200 green line. For the past 3 months, QQQ has remained above the SMA 50 purple line by a significant margin. After forming the Golden Cross, QQQ reached all-time highs multiple times. QQQ is currently priced at $577. Let's go back to the QQQ chart and add the SMA 20 black line to understand the situation better. The SMA 20 black line is faster and reflects short-term momentum, while the SMA 50 purple line is slower and indicates the intermediate-term trend. Since April 23, 2025, QQQ has stayed above the SMA 20 black line continuously. QQQ remained well above the SMA 20 black line until it briefly dipped below on August 1, 2025. The good news is that QQQ managed to climb back above the SMA 20 black line the next day. This behavior indicates that QQQ maintains bullish short-term trends and momentum. We should monitor whether QQQ can stay above the SMA 20 black line. If it falls below this level, I believe QQQ will bounce back from either the SMA 50 purple line, or at least the SMA 200 green line. When QQQ approaches the SMA 50 purple line or the SMA 200 green line, these will present excellent buying opportunities for TQQQ. The U.S. stock market's rise in the last month leading up to today was driven primarily by strong performances from major technology stocks, resilient earnings, optimism around artificial intelligence, and relatively favorable macroeconomic conditions. Markets wrapped up the week with mixed signals and modest gains, as economic data clouded expectations for a September rate cut. Retail sales rose 0.5% in July, slightly below forecasts but still a solid rebound. Producer Price Index came in hotter than expected, raising doubts about imminent rate cuts. Consumer sentiment declined in August, with long-term inflation expectations ticking up. According to the latest GDP Now forecast, U.S. GDP growth for Q3 2025 is projected at 2.5%, an improvement from the negative 0.3% contraction in Q1 and 3% growth in Q2. The CME FedWatch tool indicates the Federal Reserve will likely cut interest rates twice, once in September and again in October. Meanwhile, on Polymarket, the odds of a U.S. recession in 2025 have fallen from 66% on April 6 to 28% in June to 13% today. That's the lowest probability of recession seen in 2025. Now let's review our portfolio performance. Since last month's update, I haven't added more TQQQ shares, keeping my total investment at approximately $20,000. Normally, I invest about $1,000 monthly, but in March and April, I invested over $5,000 when the market dropped significantly. Since December 2023, my goal is to invest about $12,000 annually. I plan to invest $4,000 more by the end of November 2025 to reach a total of $24,000 by November 2025. I plan to buy near the SMA 50 purple line or the SMA 200 green line. However, we may not see QQQ touching the 200-day green line for some time. On August 1, 2025, when QQQ dipped, I placed 2 limit orders to buy TQQQ at $78 and $80, but they were not filled. I received a dividend of $70.95 on July 1, 2025. My current position is 325 shares of TQQQ with an average cost basis of $61.39. The current value of my TQQQ portfolio is approximately $30,200, with a total unrealized gain of about $10,300, or 51%. For comparison, last month's return was 41% with paper gains of $8,300. So, it's fantastic to see this kind of improvement. If you'd like more details, check out our July 2025 TQQQ update video. I haven't sold any shares and don't plan to unless I see unmistakable signals pointing to an imminent market crash. If you want to learn about those signals, check out my videos titled 10-year minus 3-month spread, recession indicator, and how to predict the stock market. The long-term strategy for the TQQQ challenge remains unchanged. Invest $360,000 over 30-plus years and aim for multi-million-dollar growth. For the full explanation behind this approach, watch my video Cash vs. SPY vs. QQQ vs. QLD vs. TQQQ, 30-year showdown. I've also launched an investment simulation game on TQQQchallenge.com where you can test various strategies for TQQQ, SPY, QQQ, and QLD in different scenarios. My approach is guided by 4 principles. First, monthly investing, consistently putting $1,000 into TQQQ each month. Second, enhanced dollar cost averaging, or EDCA, buying more during downturns and less during peaks. Third, sell before crashes, only exiting positions when major market crash signals emerge, with plans to buy back at lower prices. Fourth, no margin, avoiding debt to remain financially secure and minimize risk. The market is moving rapidly, driven by innovation and explosive growth in AI. Our mission is to stay focused, disciplined, and committed to the long-term strategy. Thank you for watching this month's update. If you found this analysis helpful, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Your support brings energy and purpose to this challenge. Until next time, take care, stay focused, and happy investing.